What's up, guys? It is Matty Ice here for another how-to video. It's been a while since we've done a how-to with the Colorado, but I figured why not? So it's been 12,000 miles or so since I've had this truck. It's been a couple years, like 2 years. So it's time to get this air filter changed in the engine bay. And here we go. If you go to O'Reilly's, it seems like they don't have the AC Delco. They only have the Mircogard, which is fine. I don't necessarily think you need the AC Delco. It's nice. You could do a K&N if you want to as well. That's fine as well, as long as you take care of them and you're going to recharge them correctly. But this, just a drop-in replacement that slides right in and fairly cheap. I believe this was like $22. But if you want to know how to get to your engine air filter, you will proceed to inside, right next to your beauty cover. Mine's a little dusty right now, where we have the air inlets that goes to the engine, and then your air actually comes from the outside down here. It actually gets pulled up in, and then this is your air box. It looks large, but that's just how it's designed. Thirsty V6 that needs a lot of air to get that fuel burning and moving correctly. Now, I did a little pre-disassembly just because it's hard to do this stuff when you only got one hand. You know what I'm saying, Chug-a-buck? What you got to do is loosen 4. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. You've got one right here in the front, one right here that's going to be right under this clamp, another one right here next to this cable. And then back here in the back, I'm touching it right now, right there. Look at that cute little one. They do not have to come out all the way. You just have to loosen them until they start giving you a little bit of resistance, and then they're kind of, at their peak. As you can see, ooh, sorry guys, I got a beetle on me. It's summertime. As you can see, it's about, a thumb's width up. And then this should be loose enough then on the screws to finish what you're doing. But there's more. What you got to do next is loosen this little clamp right here. How much? Well, it depends. When it comes pre-installed, it's actually going to be fully rotated. I'll try and get back into the position. It'll look like that. It's going to be rotated over here. You want it loose enough that you can shift this over and then pull it up, and then you have to have enough room to loosen this, and then it should slide off. If not, it just needs a little bit of help, but you can see we're loose enough now that's not contacting. It could be loosened. Let's get this is so hard to do with one hand. I'm going to try and set the camera down, but I'm not particularly set up for this at the moment, if y'all know what I'm saying. What you'll need to do is get a little flat head, just work under this flap right here, and then very gently just work it up. Do not put a lot of pressure on this. It will, as you can see, just slowly come away. There you go. And then it can slide down at that point, it can slide back. It's just, this rubber piece that holds everything together. Next part, you're probably going to have, especially if it's your first time doing this, right down here. I'll try and zoom you guys in. I know it's hard to see. But on this edge, do you see these clips right here? Where we have this plastic going through here. These are really stiff, and you're going to need to give yourself a little bit of pry right here as you work it up. We can work this up this way and get it loose. Just wiggle it back and forth and then move it this way, and if you hear it pop, that's fine. That's just those coming loose. But now that we're up and you can see the filter inside and we're off the screws, we can use our screwdriver to put a little bit of pressure back here. Trying to give you guys a good view, but it's hard. You don't want to push too hard, just rock it a little bit. And as you can see, we pulled through that. Now this should be almost ready to come off. It's just a little bit left on there. But yeah, this front one right here, just a little bit more, and we should be free. Come on. There we go. Went in there and separated it. There you go. It does come free. You can also remove this clip if you wanted to. Mine was actually already unlocked. That's not good. And there you go. There's the filter. Now the filter will just pull right out. You know, it's not the dirtiest filter, but there is a lot of debris in it. Ugh. Lots of stuff falling out. Lots of seeds and little leaves I can see stuck in there. But you can still mostly see through it, so it's probably not totally roached yet, but whatever. We'll replace it. Good time to inspect your box too. Mine's fairly clean, couple leaves in there, but I'm not too worried about that right now. Let's get this Mircogard though and see how this looks. Mircogard. Well, it's orange. It's got, that's crazy. It's got 2 of these plates instead of 3. And the back looks a little bit different. It doesn't seem to have as much surface area as the other one. It's a bit smaller. Let's hope it's the right one. And you gotta line it up. All right, am I putting it in the wrong way? Because it's got the same bumps and everything. It should be the same thing. Oh, there we go. See, drops right in. I must have had it gripped wrong and got it turned around. But it feels like a decent fit. It doesn't feel quite as good as the other one. I wonder if it's going to seal though with that. Maybe let's rotate it. Because you do have inside of here a secondary element that helps keep things dry. It looks exactly the same actually going in both ways, so I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. But if you want to see that secondary element, it's right there. That's what that bump out, it's kind of hard to see on camera, is for. But yeah, okay. So now we just got to get everything pushed back in and then sealed back up and we're good to go. So yeah, let's do that. All right, so clear yourself over your little grommet right there. Line up your tabs in the back and then push through. Just got to rock it a little bit and it goes back. We could probably use our screwdriver, whatever happened to it, it's right here, to help us get it back here. There we go, perfect. All right, feed it down. Now, if you have good contact all the way around, all we should have to do at this point is tighten these down and then we'll worry about this clamp last. So let's start getting these down because I've got those clips all the way through back there and all these screws seem to be lining up. All right, we're starting to contact there. We'll move over to this one. As you can see, that screw is working its way down. Got contact. Go over here. All right, that one's making contact. And let's do this one last. All right. This one appears to be making solid contact as well. Since they're all starting to work their way in, we'll just go back around and tighten them slowly. You do want to make sure these are on snug, but we don't want to, like, you know, break out a freaking impact and torque these to oblivion. We just want to make sure we got a good seal, or else we're going to have a massive vacuum leak and we'll know what's causing it. All right, guys, so these are actually all down, and these are just down to the point where if I put the screwdriver in and turn it, it does not want to turn anymore. And then I didn't like crank them down or anything. Now, we have to remember to put this back on because this is what will direct our air into the engine so we can have all our lovely engine things happen. So make sure you've got your clip in this open position. The rubber tab should be as far as it can to the right on this side, and then this will be loose. You want this still to be as loose as it was when you took it off. Now you have to work this back over this part right here, this lip. Work it back over, and then just be careful, this little rubber piece up front that aligns everything, as you can see right here. This likes to kind of sneak down under, so it might get caught under the plastic. So just make sure you're all the way around like that. You saw how we, on the bottom, were able to move a little bit. Make sure you've got that all the way in. Just go around a couple times, a wiggler. Okay, but as I was saying, we have to make sure, see, there you go, it's all the way in the right hand position. Now we want this to actually shift over, so when it's in there, it locks in. And we need to tighten down this with a flathead until it tightens on here. And now it is a little bit of a arduous task because it does not like to tighten, very quickly, and we do want to be careful. We don't want to damage this clamp or potentially damage our little rubber sleevey boy here. And then we'll just go down until it's tight and there's no slop. But as you can see, you don't have to put a ton of pressure on here. I have my fingers in the way, but it just slowly turns. Don't want to use power tools on these. That would be a mistake. Could easily over torque this and crack the housing, or possibly even tear the rubber right here. All right, I think we're getting to the point where it's not going to slide back to the open position, and this does not move. Even if I pull up here at the tab, it's in there good. Let me just make sure. Yeah, it's basically hand tight at this point. I can't really tighten it any further without really cranking on this thing. All right, guys, so that is a 2020 Chevy Colorado V6, the 3.6 liter engine air filter. Easy as pie. And as again, we're using the Mircogard today, but you can easily use a AC Delco. If you want the Mircogard number, it's MGA10256. That's the part number. Very cool. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. We will catch you next time. And as always, have a good night.